excited to be here, everybody. I have really good news. I am having a baby. Woo! Yes, I'm really excited. We're due out in August. I like saying it that way because then it sounds like a movie trailer. I'll be like,
coming this summer out of my wife's vagina. They thought it was a mistake, but she was here to stay. Misconception.
I guess it's a film that I have to see, so. But I'm really scared because being a father, there's all these things that I have to do now. Like I have to find a name. I have to name my child. And I'm scared because I feel sometimes that you can, like, what you name a child affects who they're going to be in the future. Like, if you're sitting there right now and you think your daughter Candy is studying in high school, you're wrong. I'm only 13. It's okay. If you name your daughter LaQuisha, you're instantly going to give birth to a 300-pound black woman. What am I supposed to do right here? I can't do my hair and my nails. I can't do my hair with a placenta that big sitting there right now. And I'm scared, man. Because I don't want to give my child an ugly name because maybe they'll be an ugly baby. Have you ever seen an ugly baby? They look like 70-year-old German men. They come out, they already smell like whiskey. They're balding, but they're actually balding. They have a receding hairline. It's creepy. So we decided to go with the name Rhythm. I thought it was good to, name my child after the way I conceived her. It was a lot better than Broken Condom. Besides, we're not Native Americans, so it's good. I think one of the ugliest baby names would probably be the Gerber baby. I think that's because the baby just probably sat there and just ate food all day and cried that its name was Gerber. But I think the parents were actually trying to probably name the kid Gilbert, but they were deaf. And the name on the birth certificate, Gooba. What was that? Gooba. All right, whatever you say, Gerber it is. Not like Gilbert's a good name, and you have a 400-pound mom and a retarded brother and constantly eating at you. So like I said, there's all these roles I have to fill. Like I have to find the Godfather role. And the Godfather role is a really interesting position because I have to sit there and think now, if I died in a tragic accident, my wife died on the exact same day at the exact same time, which one of my belligerent, pot-headed friends am I going to pass my son off to? It scared the bejesus out of me. Do we use this word bejesus still? Who is this character? Does he have a beard? Does he read the Bible? Is he some skinny white guy with stigmata and the head of a lamb? And why do we have to always be scared to meet this character? I'd love someone to dance the bejesus out of me, or love the bejesus out of me. What do you think, bejesus? So finally I decided to go with my friend Peter. He's not that big of a pothead. He's a personal trainer by day and a filmmaker by heart. And so I think my son will turn out like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but instead of action movies, he'll be making a bong out of a coffee mug in some Judd Apatow film. Either that or he'll be the next Michael Phelps. Except now I heard that all these kids are starting to get inspired by Michael Phelps, so they're smoking pot and hopping in the pool, but they fall asleep halfway through the lap. Or they get the munchies and they swim to the bottom to look for chocolate bars, but they eat poop. That's true. So I was actually really happy when that photo came out. I thought it made Michael Phelps look like the Hardy Milk of marijuana. He took one for the team and gave every pot-headed, belligerent stoner eating his third bag of Doritos hope and inspiration that one day he could amount to something if he just smoked a little bit more. Now we have marathon runners running 30 more laps than they actually had to. Like, something's chasing me! Something's going on! They're listening to Jimi Hendrix and pulling chicken nuggets out of their pockets. We have Olympic archers. Their eyes are all red. They're shooting themselves in the legs and giggling. I didn't feel a thing! I think archery is the only sport you might be able to actually convince someone or convince the judge that you did win gold. In last place, Dave Johnson. Are you sure about that? Yes. I think the bow and arrow could be used more in our society. I think it's really cool, but we just don't use it enough. Like, wouldn't it be nice if cops said, "Stop or I'll shoot!" They pulled the satchel off their back. They shoot, they miss. They have to run and pick it up. Alright, this isn't working. Okay, bring out the guns again. Oh, tangents. I think there's a lot of things that we could bring back. And what I'm going to bring back and reinvent is the wheelchair. Because whoever invented the wheelchair only publicized and advertised for 10% of our population. And there's 90% of the population that would love to use the wheelchair, but we just think that we're just going to be banished from society if we use it. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Wouldn't you like to just wheel yourself to the bathroom right now without breaking a sweat? You wouldn't have to stand up or interact by set. You can do your cool moves back and forth. The wheelchair always haunts me. You know, I'm in the grocery store, I'm doing my shopping. I catch the electric wheelchair out of the corner of my eye. Keys are still in it. Come on, Brian. Just take me for a little ride through the produce aisle. What's the harm? You've been on your legs all day. Come on. Just wants a little ride to go on. I turn the keys. No, I'm crippled. No, I'm crippled. This is crippled vehicles only. No, I'm crippled. Everyone's looking at me. There's a husband or wife. See, Tom, I told you there was an alarm on it. I think in society, we put labels on things and it disconnects us to how intense and serious that thing really is. Like childbirth. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love women and I love babies. And I love things that come out of women. Hopefully those are babies. But there's things they don't tell you and they don't tell men. Like, I think they should have someone, like one of those intense shows on Fox, like When Women Scare the Shit Out of You 4. It could come right on after Martha Stewart teaches us how to make hats out of placentas. I don't know. But it's intense, and so I'm reading these books and they have pictures in them. And I remember sitting in sex ed class and the teacher would come up and be like, "All right, class, today we're going to learn about sex ed. The male, the female, they cuddle, the sperm, it goes into the egg, and 9 months later there's a baby." And I'd be like, well, that seems easy enough. No. The pictures are scary, man. And like I said, they just don't tell us these things. One thing I learned, and this is just a possibility that this could happen, but it has happened, and I'm sorry just to disturb you and ruin your night, but during birth, there can be anal tear. I know, it's creepy and it can happen. And when I found out, I was just sitting there and talking to mine like it was the child. I was like, "It's okay. Daddy's here, it's fine." I was carrying around a pillow everywhere I went. The only way to prevent this anal terror, as I like to call it, is to have someone put their finger in your bum to relieve the muscle tension. Could you imagine that conversation? "So, if I lose, I pay for dinner tonight. And if I win, you have to stick your finger in my bum when I give birth to our unborn child." I think this is a little unfair. I could just pay for it right now if that's okay. Another thing they don't tell you about childbirth, and I'm sorry again to disturb this, but that women poop during birth. They can poop. I know what you're saying. "Hey, Brian, women don't poop." I know, I thought that for too, okay? I thought that for years and years. My dad thought that, my dad's dad, but we have been mistaken, and mankind has been deceived. So somebody, God bless their soul, is going to have quite the job on their hands. They're going to be down below, finger in bum, babies coming out to the right, shit's flying out to the left, women screaming on top. And the first thing that popped into my mind was, hey man, what a great Cirque du Soleil act. Could you imagine? You have this giant strong man in these tight French pants. He's sitting there and he's holding up this woman in this catsuit, except it's a green catsuit because it's Cirque du Soleil. And he's sitting there with his finger in her bum. And you know he's all serious, but he's really jumping with joy because he has his finger in her bum. And she's standing up there and she's screaming, but it's coming out as a psychedelic French siren call. And he's spinning her and she's popping out babies like the Octomom. And they look like the yo-yo ride on the carnival, except the babies' faces are painted like birds. That would be a show! And that would still be more educational than what they show us in sex ed. And you could do that too, because Cirque du Soleil is just like LSD for children. You're just going to gravitate towards the colors. You could do that. You could just wheel on the TV and be like, "All right, class, today we're going to learn about sex ed." Put in the video. Hand out 3D glasses, shit's flying everywhere. Teen pregnancy would be done with. Thank you, everybody. I'm Brian Sutherland. Brian Sutherland, everybody. Yeah.